Okay guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about why I think it's important to generate ideas over how good the ideas are themselves. Um, Now there's a quote by Aristotle which I remember I remember my PRE teacher told us this in sixth form, and it is we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. And I remember hearing that at the time, and I thought that is the most biggest amount of bollocks I've ever heard. Like I didn't really get what he was trying to say, um, but I really understand what he's on about now, and I want to explain it to you guys. Now, when I was writing music sort of early on in my life, when I was still in school, I'd often find kind of a melody would just sort of come to me when I was in a classroom or whatever. And sometimes, if it was a really good melody, I would have to find some way to write it down. So I'd have to sort of find a quiet spot and sort of sing it into my phone or whatever. And this was really good because it meant I was able to capture a lot of good melodies and turn them into songs. Um, and obviously I don't write so much music now, but I often think of kind of rap lyrics that come into my head and quite frequently. And if I sort of think it's really good or I've got a minute, I'll sometimes jot them down on my notes app. But I'm less worried about forgetting them. Because what I've realised is that it doesn't really. The really key thing is getting your body to generate good. Getting your brain to generate good ideas. If you can get good at that, then you don't really need to be so precious about remembering everything. Because your body, your brain just can produce it all the time. Let's say you can create a 8 out of 10 melody every, like most people try to stop at just creating a 8 out of 10 melody like once, but how about getting yourself to a position where you can create an 8 out of 10 melody every time you sit down to the piano. And there's a quote by Kanye West, I think it's on his second album, where he says, I forget more things than makes you successful, or like I forget better lyrics than you. Like the idea being that he's like taking the piss out of a rapper who's like writing good lyrics, but Kanye West is kind of, he thinks of lyrics that are that good in his head, but because he's my reading of it is because he's such a good lyricist, Kanye West himself. He kind of remembers them. He like can just think of them all the time. So it doesn't matter if he thinks of really good lyrics, because he'll just forget them, because he can write down. They're coming to him all the time. That's what I'm getting at. So like obviously, if you're doing anything creative, you do need to get good at recording your ideas. Like I'm not saying just forget about everything, but I think you want to have an abundance mentality to excellence. And if you make a good melody, don't just stop there. Like you can make 10 times as many good melodies like that. If you have a good YouTube video idea, like don't see that as the end result. You can. That's just the beginning. You can make 10 times the amount of videos of that quality. If you just get used to doing it, if you get used to generating it. And it's not to say that there isn't a kind of muse that will sort of come down to you and reveal stuff to you. Like, I do kind of buy that poetic idea, but the real thing, if you want greatness, is just consistency and getting good at producing good things consistently. Excuse me, and eventually it kicks off. So that's what I think Aristotle means by excellence is not an act but a habit. So I really think it's worth remembering that whatever you do, you know. So yeah, just a quick video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.